can't give what you don't have. When you are talking about integrity, you are really talking about the real person, who that person is.
When you talk of integrity, you talk of honesty. To be honest. And to be honest means to be trustworthy, to be truthful. And politics is science and art of government.
Politics is about the people.
Yes.
And if you talk about it in a deeper sense, it has to do with how people take decisions on how to lead themselves.
Hello viewers, we want to welcome you to another interesting episode of Christians in Politics. It's coming to you as usual from ACNN, Anglican Cable Network Nigeria. And today we'll be looking at security and state policing. The issue of state police has been on the table for quite some time now, and there's need to look at it again, putting into consideration the different crimes and criminal activities going on around us in the country. There are killings here and there in the country, all through the states. It's like the effort of the security, the military in particular, in Sambisa Forest, have only succeeded in dispersing the criminals, the Boko Haram members, and into every nook and corner of this very country, and the killings continue unabated. And of course, the issue of bomb blast, that the present government have been saying that since the bomb blast have stopped, has resurfaced again. About 3 days ago, in Borno, there was another major bomb blast that claimed over 20 lives and 40-something persons were reported to have been seriously wounded, and they are still recuperating in the hospital. So there's need to look at the state of security. Number one, we have been dealing with APC scorecard, and most of the APC members that were brought to the studio keep saying that this is one area where they have scored a very big point, but people are dying, and they are not able to stop the battle between the herdsmen and the farmers. The herdsmen continue to kill the innocent farmers in their own communities and all around the country. So there's need to review all this. Have we really done well in the area of security as a nation as of today? Is the present government really doing well as they are trying to claim? And the issue of state policing, many people have thrown some weight behind it. The National Assembly, to a large extent, have thrown some weight behind the issue of state police. And of course, in the conference that was organized during the last administration of President Goodluck Jonathan, the issue of state police came up, and it seems to have been favored. And not too long ago, the Vice President himself, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, also threw his weight behind the issue of state policing. And everyone thinks it will be a panacea to the current challenge we are having security-wise in the country. The issue of kidnapping is there. The issue of armed robbery is there. And Boko Haram, well, that is no longer a story. And of course, the trending one, which is that of herdsmen, is a daily affair. So today, we have in our studio one of us, a priest in Abuja diocese, a regular customer in this program, Christians in Politics. It's in the person of the Reverend Canon Benjamin Agbejume. Benjamin, you're welcome.
Good day, viewers. Thank you very much.
The country is still very hot, so we have to bring you back to the studio.
Thank you.
We want people to prescribe solution to this.
Right.
And again, we have in our studio too another guest, a cyber security expert, and we have brought him here at one time, and he spoke eloquently on some issues bordering on security and youth matters in this country, and is here with us again. Ekeliani Azuka, you're welcome to the studio. Yes, we, like as I said, we are talking on security and state policing. What is your take? Let's start with security generally.
Yes,
putting into consideration the recent bomb blast again in Bondo State.
The issue of security regarding what is happening in our country really cause for worry. When we look at the situation of the country, especially as it relates to security, one will really say that there is lapses in the security architecture of this country, and that can be attributed to the selection of those who are placed in helm of affairs of security organizations. Because if you remember some years back, about 3 years ago, when this government came on board, when the former Inspector General of Police was replaced with this current Inspector General of Police, you will observe that a number of AIGs,
plenty,
and DIGs
were retired.
Prematurely before their time. These are people who have been trained with state money, and these are people with experience, and the government brought a commissioner to come and head the police, one of the key security outfits of the country. And if the appointment is not based on merit, because one cannot say out of all the DIGs, AIGs retired, there is no one that is fit for that job. But rather than looking at merit, rather than looking at experience, politics set in. And that has made the whole system a kangaroo type. That you now see mediocres, because what brought the Inspector General of Police into that office will also bring so many unqualified people into various offices, because when you appoint somebody not based on merit, that person will also appoint others in the same vein, not based on merit. Already by appointing that person, you have compromised, and by compromising the appointment of that office, you have compromised the security of the nation. And when that person will also make his appointments into various positions in the level cadre of DIGs, AIGs, commissioners and assistant commissioners, he will also compromise. He will not look at merit, thereby compromising the security of the country. And when this is done, because he who plays the piper dictates the tone.
Are you zeroing on the Inspector General of Police because it is the statutory duty of the police to take care of the internal security?
Yeah.
Because if that is your point, are you saying that the military on their own part have done very well?
The military are overwhelmed because the military are expected to take charge of the external security of the country. Now, the military are both doing the work of external security and internal security. Then what is the role of the police in all this? And now when you look at all this, because now when you appoint such people into office, their interest will not be the safety of the country, but rather the interest of the person who appointed them. And that is why you can have Inspector General of Police who will come out to say, when people are dying, like that of Benue, and he will say it is a communal clash. He will wave it off by the side of his hand. So the interests of the country is not put first.
How do you see the collaboration between the police and the other security apparatus in the country?
There is no synergy. There is no synergy, and that is why you can see that friction of who controls the... Because presently, you will look at the situation. Look at Benue. You were abreast with what happened some time ago when the president said that he sent the Inspector General of Police to Benue, but he didn't know that the man did not go there. It shows that these are people who are not interested even in the security of the country. They are only interested to advance their own cause. Okay. And that is even the more reason. Look at the recruitment done recently. It's done with sentiment to favor a particular region, a particular zone. And you ask yourself, those people, if you do it this way, are you promoting peace and security of the country?
What do you mean by sentiment?
When I say sentiment, because in a situation where you have two dominant religions, and Nigeria is not an Arabic speaking.
Okay, I get your point. I think yes, you know, some people raise this very point, but we need to maybe do a little bit of correction, because we have investigated, and the information at our disposal is that it's not that they included Arabic questions, really. We have tried to clear that, and I think we spoke a bit on it in the last episode, that what they said they did was the instruction on the computer-based exam was that if you are an English-speaking person, click on English. If you're an Arabic-speaking person, click on Arabic. And some students mistakenly, who doesn't know Arabic, they didn't look at the instruction very well, they click on Arabic. So that is the...
It's still very, very wrong. It's still very, very wrong. We are a country guided by law. Nigeria is not an Arabic-speaking country.
It's an English-speaking.
It's an English-speaking. Then why will you bring?
Okay, the point
Arabic
now. Okay,
into it
the point you are still making now is that if they were to set Arabic questions at all, maybe they should also set questions in Greek language, because Greek is the original language of the Bible.
Of the Bible.
Okay, I can get.
Then there is no point bringing Arabic into it at all.
I can get your point now. Now. I was talking about synergy between the different arms of security in this country, and as a cyber security expert, you are more familiar with information sharing. I think so. That may be an area where I want you to start off. Do you think that intelligence sharing, information sharing between the arms of government is good? I mean, security is good enough as of today?
Thank you for the question. For me, I don't think the level of intelligence we have in this country, Nigeria, is good enough. Because if you look at the way our security agencies handle some issues we have, you know that it requires some situation we find ourselves requires that you have a level a kind of intelligence or a way to tackle some security challenges. I remember vividly, that was last year, when after the money that was found in Lagos, that was said was belonged to NIA,
yes. Intelligence Agency.
Buhari appointed some retired military generals to look into it. I think it was Babangana Kingibe was the head of that particular panel that was set up to look into it. And after their investigation, they found out that there is no synergy between different security agencies. All of them are trying to outdo each other. And in this situation, you will find out that everybody there won't be that correlation between
no cooperation
between all the security agencies.
Which means they may not even be sharing intelligence.
And another thing you can find out is that the level of intelligence we have in this country, the security agencies trying to portray themselves in the media. You do your work, let your work speak for you, for me. Because once you come out in the media, like when the military came out, they said they've defeated Boko Haram tactically. You don't say such stuff. Just leave, you do your work. Because once you are saying this, these people you are dealing with are also trained.
Now that one has raised a serious question. You know, about 2 weeks ago, or last week, to be precise, you remember I raised that issue here that when we invited some APC person to analyze their scorecard, and I said the way the government is talking from Mr. President down to
Minister of
Information, Lai Mohammed, and all of this. Yeah, they are saying because there are no bomb blasts again in Abuja and Northeast, they have defeated Boko Haram, irrespective of the deaths, the killings that is going on by the day. And I remember I did say that if care is not taken, since it is bomb blast that these people are using as yardstick for measurement of security, don't be surprised. This same criminal element we hear now, they will go back to detonation of bomb, and it has started now.
Yes, it's not like it has started. It has been going on in Borno State. So there has been a lot of bomb blasts there. So it's not that it's not happening in Abuja. We now believe that we've defeated Boko Haram. So people you are dealing with, they are trained. Also,
so you are saying that, in your own opinion, something is wrong with the way the security agencies in Nigeria are coming to the air to talk about certain things.
Certain things. We chose some certain things. When America wanted to strike to kill Osama bin Laden, they didn't make it public until they finished the whole exercise,
and they got him.
And they got him because sharing your information.
So if we're to be in our situation,
you will not be telling we are looking for him.
There will be press briefing that look within 2 weeks we will kill Osama bin Laden.
Yes. So as in putting yourself in that situation doesn't make any sense. Do your intelligence.
If you want to arrest the leader of Boko Haram, you will announce
How many times have they said they've killed Shakal? Up to now, the man is still speaking.
Are you sure it's Shakal that is still alive, or his ghost that is still haunting people?
Does go appear in the video? It doesn't appear in the video.
There's nothing ghosts cannot do.
Forget about the ghost. Ghost doesn't talk in a video that will be recording. It shows that the level of intelligence we have in this country is on. I will put it is zero. If you handle some certain things, there is some. We have NIA. Before, when I was like growing up, you have maybe a CID or something. We would live in your area for like 3 months.
You won't know.
You won't know. You'll be running up to and dress. Everybody will just be. And you can even go to the parlor and drink with
this you. This point you just raised is very, very important. You know, some years ago, when this bomb blast was so rampant and this Boko Haram issue was growing, I was saying that if Nigeria, that time they were now targeting the police and all that checkpoint. I said, if we were wise, there should be a way to make police not to wear uniform.
Obviously.
They carry arm, but they don't wear uniform. Since these people are living among us, that is one of the ways to get them.
That is the duty of the secret.
Yes.
The SSS.
SSS.
State Security Service.
Yes.
because it said the State Security Service was formerly an arm of the Nigerian police.
Yes.
Until they pulled out of the Nigerian police. Now, because one of the things, because if we are talking about information sharing and information gathering, first of all, you look at the selection and the process of recruitment. In a country like ours, where you have high level of poverty, unemployment, there is no light, no road, infrastructural decay. Some of majority of those recruited into the Nigerian police force, do they really have passion
for the war
for policing?
For policing? Because policing has gone beyond the level of just carrying gun. You cannot employ or recruit somebody who cannot even provide for his family, and just after 3 months of training, you give him a gun.
It's not the matter of there's some.
What are you expecting him to do with that gun?
No, that
it's not only gun that
I think
some certain
what he's saying now also borders on welfare.
Yes, welfare contributes to that. But
welfare,
in terms
remuneration,
of training.
Yeah, it's
training. You cannot just give gun to somebody you have not properly trained. This is somebody that has been living in poverty and has responsibility.
Maybe that is why sometimes there's allegation that even the police and some of these other agents are involved even in the criminality themselves.
There's no two way about that.
No, like the robbery, the confession that is being made on air says that it is somebody that left the police that gave them the guns.
Is this possible?
It's in as much as we look at the people you employ, you recruit into the organization. Yes. The level of training matters a lot.
A lot.
Because you can't, an SSS man, if he's passing here, because he's not wearing uniform, you won't be able to identify him. So that the level of intelligence gathering should be most priority. Because when you gather the information, you work with information. They'll be able to liaise with other security agencies on how to tackle the situation.
I think this issue of, is it that we have shortage of personnel in DSS? Or SSS?
We do have shortage of personnel. I know that one.
Because he talk about those days in his community and all that, they come around, stay with you, drink the beer parlor. In fact,
you can stay there for 3 months.
One shocked me.
You won't even know there's a security
to a particular church. I don't want to mention the name of the church in Abuja, and I was living in the compound as a priest. So I've lived there for quite some time. I didn't know that one of the staffs, the junior staffs in the compound, that one of our junior staff, we employed him as a junior staff in the church. I didn't know he's a DSS man. Full-time worker with DSS, and we didn't know. We employed him. He was working inside the church as a junior officer.
He might even be sent to be gathering information.
Yeah, we gave him accommodation within the church compound, like we gave to the other. I don't want to mention the office it was, otherwise. Until one day, he had my wife speaking in a particular language. You know, my wife speaks almost all the languages. And he said, you are my sister. So that now opened up interaction. I only took for him to disclose to me that you are Malana. Why are you? What is your educational level? He said, okay, I really don't want you to tell any person. I'm just doing this thing because I'm hanging around to gather information.
Yes.
I'm a DSS man. I was surprised.
That is somebody who has passion.
And is well trained.
They can do that. Can
and
go
no person, no person is still working there till today. No person knows.
You won't know.
You know when people don't have passion. When people don't have passion for what they do, like what is happening in Nigeria today, where police will just go to the media and tell the public anything they want the public to hear.
There's some certain of information that you reserve.
You understand?
Many are of the opinion that what they are doing is politically motivated.
Yes. So the work of security must be completely
removed from politics. Okay.
Irrespective of the party you belong to.
Or party in power.
Or party in power.
Now,
you must be neutral.
Now, what do you want to advise that police should be doing and the DSS, especially in the area? For instance, the present government is always claiming that they have recorded good success in Northeast in particular. What should be the work of police there now? When the military have cleared the place, what should be the next phase?
To be honest with you, they've not cleared the place. Let's not deceive ourselves. Yes. If they've cleared the place, the bombing and the killing will stop. And people will be able to go back to their various homes that have been destroyed and be able to start their lives.
Many have not been able to.
People have been displaced.
The IDP camps are still there, overpopulated.
Overpopulated. Like on Saturday.
But yes.
On Saturday there was another bomb blast.
Yes.
And a lot of people were killed.
Yeah.
How will you be telling people that, oh, we've cleared the place? That means there are still some things going on in that particular place. But
under normal circumstances, assuming they are able to clear it, what should be the role of the police and the DSS and other security agencies? Assuming the military are able to strike and like they say they have destroyed the headquarters of Boko Haram, what should be the role of the police in Sambisa Forest and all the environs?
For me,
and in places like Benue.
For me, what they should do first is to try to make sure that people will be able to return to them, because the major part or the importance of government, one of the importance of government is national security.
Yes.
Make sure that people return to their homes to start their life afresh and they are protected. One is if people, as in, like now that this situation we find ourselves, that particular part of the area, it's not only Northeast. Let's also not limited to.
No, it's not only Northeast now, because what I've discovered, in the Northeast is majorly Boko Haram.
Yes.
In the Northwest, it's cattle rustling and killing of farmers. Then in
that's herdsmen.
Yeah, herdsmen. In the middle belt, it's herdsmen that are killing
and kidnapping.
Kidnapping. Kaduna axis has become a hub for kidnapping. Then in the east, well, kidnapping has been on for some time, and in the Niger, it's like we are getting used to kidnapping and all that there. They do it even in a very low scale now, and they can kidnap a high-profile person and demand for millions. They can also kidnap a small people like us and ask for a ransom of 50,000.
In a nutshell, let me just answer your question.
Yes. In the West, it's like armed robbery is more rampant.
And kidnapping too. Even herdsmen.
Yeah. And herdsmen, yeah.
The major part.
No, herdsmen is more or less a general one now, because they are spread to every nook and cranny of the country.
In a nutshell, what they should do is to just protect the lives and property of people. That's the major function of the police.
That means wherever the military have been able to decimate, is it decimate? Yes. Decimate all these terrorist groups, yes. Police should be on ground.
Yes.
To make sure that they consolidate on the gains already. Okay. Now,
and that not is to another thing that we should put to check in that particular area is the porous border we have. That has been the major issue we have in Nigeria. Because of different ways people can enter Nigeria without being checked. Let's not forget, the president made mention that some of the herdsmen are.
He didn't say so. He said the herdsmen are
Libyans
trained by Gaddafi.
Let's not take that for granted. In terms of security, make sure that the borders are checked, so that not to allow some certain elements. Because the Boko Haram we are talking about, the terrorist group cannot just be only in Nigeria.
So in other words, movements of people should be checked, should be monitored.
Yes.
Do you know that that is many years back now again? For only once in my life as a citizen of this very country, I've experienced that. I was traveling to Cotonou to go and get a car. So I got to Lagos. And when I enter a cab to take me to Mile 2, where we will take off, I saw a checkpoint where police stopped the taxi. And when police stopped the taxi, I was expecting, as usual, for them to be talking to the driver, asking for papers. The man left the other side and told the driver, be patient. Oga, who are you? Yes. I said, talk to the driver. I'm not the driver. He said, no, it's you I want to talk to. Who are you? I mentioned my name. He said, is that a Nigerian name? Is that I said, yes, a Nigerian name. Which state? He asked me. I told him. He said, do you have any ID card on you to prove what you are telling me? So I was embarrassed. But after he has looked at my ID card, I know that he said, where are you heading to? I said, I'm heading to Cotonou to buy something and all that. And when are you coming back? He just interrogated me. I was feeling embarrassed, but after he finished all the questions, he allowed us to go. After looking at my ID card and he allowed me to go and say, safe journey. It suddenly dawned on me that it's like there's no policing in Nigeria before. That how come this is the first time somebody, since I was born, that somebody is interrogating me at a checkpoint like this? If something like this was being done, criminals will not be moving from one angle of the country to the other without being checked. You think that, let me ask Kano, do you think that should be one of the best way to go about checkmating what is going on?
That is just one way.
Okay.
Out of the many. Because when I say that is just one way, in this country, we have so many means of identification. If you are a Nigerian, if you go to other countries, all these duplications of means of identification are unified.
Yeah.
That means they have a central database.
Yes.
One central database.
I think
immediately.
I think the government of Goodluck Jonathan started working towards that. I remember he had a conference with all the heads of security apparatus, including the road safety, the National Identity Management Commission, yes. Then the military, the police, the SSS, then the VIO. The people managing BVN. Yeah, I think he had a meeting with it where they are trying to synchronize everything.
But they could not synchronize it, because if they did, that's supposed to be the best way of information.
You have any idea whether the present government is doing something on that?
No, I'm not sure.
Okay.
That could have been the best means of information gathering. That if you produce your ID card,
or even your name, once they type your
name, once it's typed, everything about you, you don't because if you are talking about information sharing by the security agencies, what this security agency has should also be in the other security, because every information
I saw maybe that
is circulated
that
centrally.
That push by Goodluck Jonathan, I believe, yielded some result, because the last time I went to was it EcoBank? Should be EcoBank. No, GTB. I wanted to do something, and there was need for them to adjust my whether a signature or whatever in their system, so that I can use the savings account to also pay in my check. That was what they were trying. And I was surprised. They said, what means of identity do I have? I said I have that of a national ID card. So they took the something, because it was not yet the hard copy. Okay. So this paper, they just pressed something and said, wait, we'll get back to you. Sit down. I was sitting down, and they were communicating with the commission.
Yes, they have.
So it's like they are trying to network.
But that is not even what, because what I'm saying here now,
yes,
is this: you don't even need to have ATM card. You don't need driver's license.
Okay.
Just one serves all the purpose.
Okay, but then hold it at that point. We break this point, and we'll be back soon.
You see, I'm a federalist, you know. I believe in federalism. I believe in devolution of powers, you know, to the states. I grew up in an environment, you know, in a climate where you have federal police, you have state police, you have county police, you know, you even have university police. That's the ideal thing, you know, in a civilized climate. You know, so as a federalist and one who believes in devolution of powers, ordinarily I should be clamoring, you know, for state police, you know. But you know, when you realize that a state police will be created, that will be put in place and controlled by the likes of Governor Kowa, I think that is a big nightmare, you know, because even right now, with the federal, with the police that is federally controlled, you know, here you have a commissioner of police who's at the beck and call of a sitting governor, you know, because of poor funding from the federal government, and therefore receives all of their funding, you know, from the state governor. When they use that federal police to even terrorize us, you can imagine what it will look like, you know, when Okowa is allowed to set up his own police, you know. It's as good as just asking who will probably be the commissioner of police. Maybe it will be Hillary. Hillary, what's his name? And the guy is boy who's in charge of his security vigilantes, you know, which he operates from government house. You can probably just label him the new commissioner of police, and we're all dead in this state. So I can tell you, this is one vote, one senator who will not cast a vote, you know, in favor of state police, you know, because I don't believe that we've matured to that level yet.
But it seems that like the vice president is doing that part.
That is the vice president. I am the senator representing Delta Central. To the extent I have one vote, one undiluted vote, that vote will be cast against state police at this particular time.
Viewers, we welcome you back, and it's good to know that you are still there with us. We have talked much on security generally, which is the first leg of our discussion today. Now, we want to zero more on state policing. Though the issue of state police has been on the table for quite some time now, and I want to ask, do you think that is the way to go?
Yes, it's the best way to go if only the government in power have the political will to allow restructuring, because there is no way we talk about state policing without also looking at restructuring. Because if we are talking about state policing, there are a lot of areas that will improve on the work of policing in our country, because presently the country is too large considering the population of our country, with how many thousands of police to police 180 something, 89 or 80
almost 190
million population is currently under Nigeria is
under police.
You
know, so the United Nations standard is that one policeman should be taking care of at least a maximum of 400 persons. And from our own calculation, with the number of police, about 400,000 policemen or thereabout in Nigeria, if you use it to divide our population, we don't really know the number of accurate number of population, but it's now, as you hear government official talking, it's now between 180 million and 190 something. So we are going to have an average of about a policeman to 500 persons, which is already above the expectation of United Nations. Now, are you sure that the number of police we have today is adequate enough, or we need to recruit more?
is not adequate.
So we need to recruit more?
Yes, Nigeria need to recruit more, but in the process of recruiting more policemen, you also look at the interests of those in power. How does it affect the workings of the police?
The interests.
The interests.
Okay, hold it there. Now, do you think that dividing police into 36 states, autonomous police services,
state police.
Yes, state police, is really the solution, or recruiting more police? Because why I'm asking this, if you know the history of policing in Nigeria, there was something that was akin to state police before independence. We were having two police group in Nigeria, the one that was called Lagos Police and Northern Constabulary, and these were being used by our colonial masters. So, but we later agitated for native police, which metamorphosed into this national police system that we have today. Do you think it is this system that is the problem? That if we go to state police, that by dividing it to states, so that, do you think that would be better?
In as much as I would agree to state policing, because it will help us to achieve or have a good result to face the challenges we are facing now in Nigeria, because we have too many ethnic groups in Nigeria. You can't send somebody from the north to go to Niger Delta, you know, it's a riverine area, to go and fight crime. It will be very difficult for the person. He might not be able to swim. People in that area are used to that particular and know the region very well.
Then when they commit offense, that you pursue them, you jump into the river,
water, and the man will just be looking. If you follow the enter water, you might not be able to swim.
This man is from Niger Delta. Is that true?
Yeah, it's true.
So another thing is,
so state police will help, so that
state police will go along.
Niger Delta will know how to police Niger Delta region better.
It will even make the government to employ more. Because why? Let me just buttress what he's saying. If really government want to really police Nigeria, state policing is the best way to go. This federal government cannot do it all. The federal government cannot do it all.
I think, sorry, in order, if for us, that's state policing, there is something I'm afraid of.
Okay.
Yes. Why am I afraid of it? You know, the system we practice in Nigeria, some governors might hijack that
many people have said that,
use that security agencies to fight their political opponents.
But people are saying that federal government have also presidents have hijacked the national police.
I remember a scenario we have. I think it was in Anambra State then. There was a particular point in Onitsha, you won't be able to pass anywhere.
Yes.
Armed robbers everywhere.
Yes.
I think it was 1999 when the new government, when democracy was.
Yes.
So when the governor came in and the crime was so much, there was a security outfit they called Bakassi boys.
Bakassi boys.
They were able to restore normal, as in
normalcy
to the place. As in, if you drop money and you were just going somewhere, once you come back, you still see your money there and be able to pick it, and the crime was reduced. But later, when he wanted to contest for another thing, he started using that particular outfit to fight his political opponents. So that's why I have some reservation.
No, but people are saying, people are saying even that has also played out at the national level. Okay, of recent, there have been accusations here and there, though is subject to verifications, that all these people are being framed. You can hear high-profile people like Senate President, former President Obasanjo, the governor of Rivers. All of them say that the police is about to frame them up, and that they are being used by the federal government. Even during we are not just talking about APC now.
Even
during Goodluck Jonathan, Amechi was crying loud every day in rivers that
SSS
and police are being used by the federal government. Remember the Obu saga, the police commissioner that was always at loggerhead with the governor there. So the truth, if we go by the issue of hijacking, I think we will not move forward, because both the federal government have also done the same. So, but what we are saying, looking at the merit with what the situation we find ourselves now, for instance, look at Benue. Okay, the president is say he asked the IG to leave Abuja to go to Benue. And later now, he realized that he didn't go. If the autumn have been, the governor have been crying and crying and crying. Now they made a law. They made a law in Benue to checkmate these killings, but they could not implement it now because they don't have the means for implementation, and the center is not in agreement with the government. You can hear the chief security advisor saying that they should suspend all the anti-grazing laws that were made.
Not security, the chief of Minister for Defense.
Minister for Defense. Now, that means the federal government is not in agreement with the states. And how do you cope with that situation? So if there was to be state police, would it be better?
Let me just make this point, because what is saying is that the fear of governors hijacking their state police apparatus will cause fear. Let me just try to allay your fear in this area, because if you say that because of the fear of governors hijacking their state police will make us not to move forward, let me draw your attention to certain issues that borders on a failure of policing in our country. Just recently, we heard of the stealing of the maize in the National Assembly.
Yes.
What effort has the police done to bring those involved
to book?
This is where you say that even the federal government are still, they have hijacked the police. Look at that of Enugu early at the beginning of this administration. The killings in Enugu by S-men, when the governor called the commissioner of police and told the commissioner of police what was about to happen. And the man said he has never received instruction from Abuja, therefore he cannot mobilize his men. Until the herdsmen came, they killed and destroyed everything and left.
Then the police go their plan to cordon off the place.
Then look at that of Benue. So you can see very, very clear that same fear you are entertaining, because it's just the same thing.
Then don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that state policing is not good, but there should be a clause.
Now you are coming to the point I wanted to raise that. Now, if there's going to be state police, how are they going to manage it in such a way that the center can have some measure of control?
Like in the judiciary now, you have the Federal Judicial Council that disciplines any erring judicial officer
throughout the whole country.
Something like that should be set up.
You have state judiciary, you have federal judiciary.
Okay.
Like as you have federal high courts, state high courts.
Okay, are you saying that by that the police service commission should be strengthened?
Something like that
strengthened. Yes. And it should not be through the appointment of one single individual.
Okay.
You understand? It should, like, what if you look at the appointment of judges, where both in the state and in the federal level, they recommend, then the federal government will do what? Will approve.
Can we define state policing or state police? How do we define it really? Is it that we need to put it in perspective? Is it that each state should have her independent police that is controlled and by the governor?
Yes.
Yes.
Not by
It's
the
not by
governor.
the governor, it's
By
the
who?
state.
Not by the state, because when we are
By the
saying
state,
by the
yes.
state, it's not going to be exclusively under the governor.
Okay, it should be more or less. No, because
No,
the police. You cannot say police is not under the governor, because the executive only function with the power of the police, because they are the executive who are to implement the law.
Yeah.
And the only way they are able to do that is because they have the police, the security personnel to use to implement.
That is what we are saying. It's not going to be exclusively
under
the control of the governor. There should be a mechanism of checks and balances.
That's why I'm
whenever the governor.
Now he was talking about a clause.
Yes, so there'll be a setup. It's like police service commission that should be checkmating the activities of those state police. Because if you leave it to
at the state level, at the national level.
At the national level,
okay.
Then we'll establish a state police that will guard the state and take care of all the security.
If the police service commission at the national level would be doing a kind of oversight
like how you mentioned the National Judicial Council.
Yeah.
They oversight all the activities of the judges and everything.
Whether you are Abuja police,
yes,
or Kaduna police, or Edo State policeman.
Yes. Because if it's not being
checkmate,
yes, you can be called to order.
Before even the governor can make any appointment, that appointment must pass through the National State House of Assembly. And if after appointment that police officer is erring, the federal
the commission that is being set up,
yes, like as you have the national let it be national police
service
commission that will not be under any person.
Yes.
Whether because like we have the federal
if we have state police, that means offices like Inspector General of Police, DIGs, zona, what they call them,
all we go,
all those commanders,
all we go.
So that may even be cost effective.
Very cost effective. And it will make state governors to invest in their police based on the population of that state.
That particular state.
You know, see, is it that we are not really copying well? Because the US government that we are copying, they are operating state police. In the UK, state police is being operated. And I know very well because my elder brother is a British police officer. And for quite some years now, he has been the head of the Yorkshire Police Service. And is fully in charge. So it takes everything is under his control. He's able to, take full charge and take decision and take responsibility for it. And I also learned that India is practicing state police and some other countries. From the survey we have done so far, I think there's almost near consensus in the country that is the way to go. Do you look at the present government as, especially as people disposed to do that, because Mr. Vice President have spoken on this?
Yes.
Do you see Buhari's regime implementing this?
I think it's left for him to decide. People have been clamoring for that. Even the governors, when all these killings, especially the killings of herdsmen.
No, because this government says they want to solve security problem. That is why we brought up this topic to look at it again.
That will help us achieve the main goal to protect the lives and property of people. Then
the government is not ready to go that way, because if they are ready, the first point is looking at the issue of restructure. Are the government ready to restructure?
So people keep dying.
Because if you look at the issue of power, because there is no way you can remove the issue of security, an issue of power from that of security. The power sector is still under the exclusive list.
No, you need power
State
to run your security cameras. You need power for so many things.
States cannot invest. Then if you look at the area of resource control,
That is another thing. People are saying that states will not be able to pay their police if they state police. So it means if there's restructuring,
that has made so many governors so lazy.
What you are saying now is that if there's restructuring, the states will be more independent, and they will also wake up and be able to tap into their resources,
into areas that even the federal government is not tapping into. There is no state in this country
that cannot survive.
That cannot survive without oil. There is no state. So if you don't have light, how do you secure your state? If you are not economically and financially empowered, how do you provide for even your state police?
Yeah, now.
Because even if you look at, now you see duplication of duties. You have the Peace Corps, you have road safety, you have civil defense. You have so many of them.
I think they have tactically killed Peace Corps now.
What are they really
have
doing?
Almost finished that.
These are agencies you can collapse into the police.
I'm able to push them to different states.
That is it.
Now, what is your advice on the number of policemen guiding some few individuals? Why people are dying in all the villages and communities?
Another.
Now, you know, these people are attacking what they call soft target. Now they go to communities where you don't have road, you don't have police. They just finish every person. Now, some individuals are having 10 policemen at their gate.
So some of them are escorting their wives.
And whereas if you send 3 of those policemen armed to these communities, place them there, all these criminals, herdsmen, this or that, will not be able to achieve their goal.
That is just misplaced priority.
Misplaced priority.
Because something we should use to achieve the
results. You are saying Nigeria policing should not be tailored towards securing the high-profile individuals. It should be for every citizen.
Every citizen.
What is your last word on this subject? Because time is not on our side.
I am always against this present government, because a government that promotes mediocrity above meritocracy. What am I really saying here? Because if you see all these police attached to,
I know you are not just against this government. You are generally against ills in the society. I'll be using you even during the last government. I know that you were also speaking hard.
In a situation, these police attached to this high-profile people in the society.
Yes,
they are paid for.
Yes,
but where does those money they paid go to?
No, this government is fighting corruption. They will tell us something about that.
That is where even Senator Misao brought the issue up in the Senate.
Yes, I think Senator Misao is the one who said the father was a retired commissioner and that he was a police officer.
Yes,
he said a lot of money is being raised.
So you can now see that when you promote mediocrity.
Time is up and time is up. What is your last word? Your advice to government on this issue of policing? Quickly, time is up.
On the issue of policing,
just a word.
One, the maintenance culture. We should look at the maintenance culture of our security agencies.
Maintenance culture.
The welfare
and the maintenance culture.
The way they have do their equipment.
Okay, your last word.
Policing is not all about carrying guns.
It's about intelligence gathering and sharing.
Intelligence gathering
and nipping crime on the board.
Also, having passion
to secure the lives of citizens. Thank you very much. Viewers, we thank you for being there for us, and we thank my guests, Canon Abuja. Thank you very much for always honoring our invitation.
Thank you.
And our cyber security expert, Azuka. Thank you very much for coming. Viewers, we will come back to you with another episode very soon, and keep viewing ACNN. And like I always say, we need sponsors. If you can also do your advert, it will help the studio to move on. Thank you very much. We'll come your way another time. I remain your host, Venerable J.O. Unwanya.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the guests and viewers and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the Anglican Cable Network Nigeria, ACNN.